the fourth quarter, first out of the 35. That's what's really impressive to me. Here comes pressure. Miller, hit as he throws. It's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Woody Washington, and that should be the dagger to a... huge senior day celebration in North.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boomer Sooner. Boomer Sooner. Y'all know what time it is. And say, family, I got something I want to say to y'all real quick before we get into anything. Say,
JP.
Until we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to drop randomly. But as soon as we reach 1K, I'll start uploading every day. Multiple times a day. Every time new news and updates come out. And I'll, of course, put my own spin on it. I know y'all get tired of watching the same content across every channel. So not only are we going to do updates on things that come out, but also evaluate recruits, go into the past and look at past players and how they correlate with modern day players, and even look at our players in the NFL, man, just to keep content rolling out every day and keep everything fresh. But like I said, we got to get to 1K. And if you have not wiped your feet, which is like, comment, and subscribe, ring that bell icon, and turn post notifications on all, then you're not only doing me a disservice, but you're doing yourself a disservice. If you are a Sooner fan, a Sooner bandwagon, a Sooner supporter, if you represent the University of Oklahoma in any way, you need to be subscribed to this here platform. Go ahead and do that for your brother. Show your Sooner brother some love. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content. But before we get into what the title is about, I first want to take a step back and, look at something that I was thinking about a few months ago during a game between the University of Oklahoma and, of course, the Alabama Crimson Tide. The reason I want to look at this game, of course, it was some big plays made in the game, and I'm not going to review the entire game. This play right here that sealed the deal, even though we knew it was already sealed going into the fourth quarter. But this play right here from R. Mason Thomas, man, the dude is just special. RMT is just box office. He is one of those players that if you have him on your squad, is what happened after the game. This right here, you got the fans excited, everybody's going crazy, and then you see the University of Oklahoma fans storming the field. And Sooner Nation, I will be the first to admit, this was an abysmal year. We did not expect to go 6-7
again ever.
Let's just be honest. But this was a year of transition. It turned into a year of development. And you got to understand, man, with all of the injuries, what did we expect? Nobody expected there to be so many injuries in a receiving corps going into the season. Nobody expected all of the injuries on the offensive line. Nobody expected Jackson Arnold to not be able to complete a forward pass. Nobody expected our running back room to look like they've never played the position before. Nobody expected any of this. Now, to their credit, that defense was a lot better, but nobody expected to see what we seen in 2024. With all that being said, I don't care how bad our team looks. For a prestigious program, one of the greatest programs in NCAA history, to be storming the field after beating another prestigious program, that looks bad. And I do not appreciate anybody making my university look bad. And parents, if you got your kids listening, you might want to cover their ears right now, because I got this I want to say. Don't you ever make a fucking foolery of my university. Anything with OU, the University of Oklahoma on it. Don't you ever make this university look like buffoonery. That's all I had to say. I'm done with it. Let's move on. Nah, you know what? I'm not done with it. I got to say one more thing. This is Oklahoma University. Once you get that letter from us, that solidifies you. That proves that you are the best of the best. That means that you are somebody and there's something special about your game. Don't ever get that twisted. And don't ever disrespect my head coach. BV has had all the odds stacked against him. Mr. Matt be great. Don't ask questions about firing my head coach. In that side of the fan base who always want to see somebody's job taken away, move around. Go support somebody else. Go to Texas A&M. Go to a Mississippi State. Go to Ole Miss. Go to where they consistently fire their head coaches. Not here. We know what greatness is. We've seen it from BV time and time again. The man has had the odds stacked against him in every way that a head coach can have the odds stacked against him since he's been at the University of Oklahoma. And quite honestly, if I was BV, I would be making it very apparent that you either put up or shut up. If you're not willing to donate and put something in the bag for us to go get these elite players, we in a new era. Your brand name is no longer going to get you high-end recruits. You have to put up or shut up. So if the fan base that keeps on talking about taking his job or keeps on talking about wanting to see better players and stop getting players from Kennesaw State and lower level programs, for those of you who got that all in your system, put up or shut up. That's why this is the title of the video. Sooner Nation, shut the fuck up with all the whining. Let the man do his job. That's what he's trying to do. He cannot foresee injuries or players who do not have the mindset to get out there and work. BV's not going to put up with laziness. Bill Beatonball is not going to put up with laziness. None of our coaching staff is going to put up with laziness. If you so choose to be lazy, Mr. Emmett Jones is not going to play you. If you whine and complain about every little nick and bruise, you're not going to play. If you do not practice, you're not going to play. No matter what the back of that jersey say. No matter what your ties to this program is. And I love that. We're going to stand on that. Because over here, we build the man first. That's what it's all about. So for all of you who got something to say, move the fuck around. We don't need you around here. You're toxic, and you do nothing but cause bad energy amongst the program. Remember, these are 17, 18, 19, upwards to around 23-year-olds. They're young. They're very integrated in social media. They're very impressionable. They don't know how to block out the noises. They don't know how to not listen to what people say. So all of your antagonizing is doing nothing but getting under their skin. I wonder how many of these young men really transferred due to the toxicity of the fan base. Learn to shut up, man. Let this man do his job. Stop always bringing up firing somebody after something doesn't go your way. It is no doubt in my mind that Brent Venables is the man for the job. This is the job for him. This job was always meant for him, and he was born for this position. This man reflects this program in a way that no other coach in college football does. He's headstrong, motivated, and carries that underdog mentality with him throughout the course of his life. That is us all the way through and through. Nobody believed in the University of Oklahoma until we showed them, until we punched them in the mouth and forced them to believe in this shit. Oklahoma football is nothing to be played with. Why? Because we took that underdog mentality and took it up to the top. We made it successful. And BV is the epitome of that. The man will never ask another man to do something that he is not willing to do himself. And oh yeah, you better believe that man Brent is willing to do anything honorable and admirable to reach success. That is somebody you want running your program. But just for a second, Sooner Nation, I want to pivot towards the transfer portal. There's been a few acquisitions lately that has the fan base excited, and I love to see the fan base excited, but I want to remind y'all, to the ones who was talking down Kennesaw State, why are we getting all these G5 players? I want y'all to remember, when these young, hungry players, underdogs, break out and show their worth in this program, I want y'all to eat y'all words. And then I want to bring up one acquisition that I do believe Brent Venables needs to go after. And a lot of y'all may not like this because he's out of Colorado State. But if you want to replace the production that Danny Stutzman is leaving behind, Big shoes to fill, so I don't believe this is a 1-for-1. But I do believe he gives you back some of that production, and it's a sneaky good move that a lot of people are not really paying attention to. I believe that if you go after Chase Wilson from Colorado State, he will give you back a lot of that production alongside Kip Lewis. This is a big year for Kip Lewis, and I believe Kip Lewis broke out last year, but this year it's time to become an All-American. This linebacker room as a whole has to step up and bring more production now that Danny Stutzman is gone. Kobe McKenzie, it's time to show your worth. Samuel Masigo, it's your time, brother. Lewis Carter walked out. That hurt me because I felt Lewis Carter had superstar potential. But hey, man, good luck to you. The best of luck at UCF. But it's time for you all to step up. Deshaun McCullough, he's gone. Phil Picciotti, he's gone. It's time for this linebacker room to grow and become that elite level linebacker room with all the athleticism across the board, especially with this latest acquisition. And we're going to get into that in a second. But Chase Wilson, what he gives you, the man has over 200 tackles in his career. 2023, he had 107 tackles. 107. This year, he took a little bit of a step back with 98, but not too much, man. They played some very good talent. Their most notable opponents was Texas, Colorado, and Oregon State. And I know Oregon State wasn't as good this year as they were last year, but a few of those pieces were still on that team. This man recorded 8+ tackles in each one of those games, proving that on the biggest stages, he can step his game up and show that he can come to compete. The man had multiple games with 10+ tackles, and he's just dominant. He's just a force. He's a force. Now, out of high school, he was a running back / linebacker, 2-star recruit on Rivals. On 247, he was a 3-star recruit, but he was only an 8,000. So he was a very, very low 3-star. Only got that 3-star because the man signed with a Division I school. The man only got 2 offers coming out of high school, Hawaii and Colorado State, his home state. So he was very under-recruited. But the production that this man has put out since his freshman year shows that he was overlooked from being out there in Colorado. This man, I believe, gives you back a lot of that production you are losing with Danny Stutzman. And if you watch Chase Wilson's tape, go review his tape, and we'll look at it if they decide to go ahead and give him an offer. But when you watch his tape, he has some of those instincts that Danny has. The man knows how to hit the hole. He knows where the play is coming from. He knows where the play is going to. The man doesn't get caught with the eye candy. He knows how to get off blocks real good. He just has those instincts that you can teach, but some of the things you cannot teach. Some of those things that Danny Stutzman has, ball awareness and knows where to hit the hole. That's what Chase Wilson has. I believe this young man is a very, very sneaky big pickup for anybody that gets him, but hopefully the Sooners reach out and pick this man up. Whoever the future linebackers coach is, if that's Wes Goodwin or whoever they decide to pick up, hopefully they reach out to Chase Wilson and get this man to put that pen to paper. And I know Sooner Nation gonna say something crazy like, man, a linebacker from Colorado State. But when you see the production and you see this man on film, even though he's kind of undersized, 6'1", 6'2", the man's production is crazy. It's next level. It pops off the page to you. The man produces at a very high level, man, very high level. And I just believe, man, that if Sooner Nation gets him, this could be huge next to Kip Lewis going into this schedule, this gauntlet of a schedule in 2025, man. But believe me, Sooner Nation, 2025 will be better. John Mateer coming in. We already have the pieces in place on that offense to do something special. Those young players on the O-line got a little more experience. We see the ones that we want to have out there to at least have an average to good O-line, man. So things will be better. Things are going to change. We know Michael Boganowski, he's a hitter. He's a hitter. His running mate, Reggie Powers, hitter. Robert Spears Jennings, hitter. Peyton Bowen, elite talent. All-around athlete, elite talent. His brother Eli Bowen, a lockdown corner. Gentry Williams, a lockdown corner. That entire defensive line, stout, ready, one of the best in the country. PJ, we need to see you step up, bro. This is your year. You got to show us what you made of. Danny Okoye, y'all know, that is my boy, and I believe he's going to be box office. What y'all see from RMT, I believe Danny is him 2.0, but a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and a lot faster. Then you have the Nigel Smiths of the world, Taylor Wine. And Nigel is the one who really gets overlooked. But Nigel has something special to his game as well. And once again, OU has another underrated class, a lot smaller class. But the headliner, everyone says, is Michael Fasusi. And I believe Michael Fasusi is going to be a day one starter. But Elijah Thomas, I believe Elijah Thomas will be the best receiver in the country. Remember, y'all heard it here first. So when he breaks out and he proves to y'all that he is a superstar, not CD, but ET, when he breaks out and shows y'all that he is a superstar, just know that BV is doing his job. Don't forget that we have a whole host of lockdown corners coming in this year's 2025 recruiting class. Y'all keep on talking about going to the portal and grabbing out all of these high-end cornerbacks. Of course, I would have loved the Takario Davis. I would have loved the Ethan O'Connor. Great body, great size, great athleticism. I would have loved having those players in the program. But we still have to look at the fact that bringing in these portal players can create a cog within the system. And you don't yet know fully what you have in these high school talents. You may have a superstar at one of these cornerback positions. They have pieces that they really like. Malik Hawkins showed y'all in the camp that he can be a devastating corner. And one thing we know about corners, that position, is that young players can come in and really just thrive in that position. They can come in and really be something special. You just seen it with Eli Bowen. So allow these young players to show you what they can do. Gentry Williams is coming back, and I believe Gentry Williams just might be the best cornerback in the country. Like, let's just be honest. There's a lot already there to be desired. There's no reason to go out and spend millions of dollars on a Takario Davis whenever you don't know if he's going to pick up this very tough system fast enough to be somebody who can be a weapon within this defense. You feel me? Y'all got to remember, they still have to learn the system. This is a very difficult system to learn. So why not give it to the young players who have multiple years versus a Takario Davis who only has 1 year? And if I'm butchering his name, I apologize, but y'all know what I mean. Ethan O'Connor, yeah, that's a young player, but you just don't know how he's going to work out in this system. Most of y'all may not like the portal class, but I love it because I believe what BV and them did was bring in talent that can supplement the high-end talent that's already on the roster. Remember, we already have our number 1 and number 2 wide receiver. So you just bringing in talent to supplement that. And currently, OU sits at number 12 in the portal rankings on 247 Sports. Y'all may not like what they brought in, but Kennesaw State had a very good special teams. Derek Simmons is one of the higher-rated offensive tackles in the portal. I love Giovanni Gibson and what he brings as far as body size, his catch radius, his athleticism. And I know he comes from a lower level, but you have to remember, we don't need a guy. What we need is players that can get open. Their skill sets differ and can help supplement the guy, which we have 2 of those that are the guy. Deion Burks, 1A, 1B. I'm leaning more towards 1A. And Jaden Gibson being 1A, maybe 1B. And on him, I'm leaning towards 1B. But you never know. Those could get reversed. What I'm saying is we just need pieces that can supplement that. Without egos, players that don't feel like if I don't get the ball every time, I'm going to go off and go whine somewhere because I should be the star. Everybody's talking about me. I came from this prestigious program to a program that really needed help in the receiving corps last year. and did not have an O-line that was cohesive enough to hold up long enough to give the quarterback an opportunity to go downfield. So those young QBs' confidence got destroyed. That's not the case this year. You have the number one quarterback in the portal coming in John Mateer. And John Mateer is a dog. So expect there to be a lot of big plays this year versus last year. Expect Deion Burks to show you that all-American talent. Expect Jaden Gibson to take that leap that we was hearing about over the course of the offseason last year. I love what they are doing. Just supplement the roster and allow the rest of the pieces to grow. Now, we do have to speak about two huge portal additions that I believe are going to make a difference. Marvin Jones Jr., we know about the physical traits. The man is 6'5". He is a physical freak. He played receiver before transitioning to defensive end back in high school. So he's still getting used to the position. And everything could come together for him this year. Played at Georgia, played at Florida State. I know Florida State wasn't that great last year, but you have to remember, this man has been through a lot of high-end coaching. And to come here to the University of Oklahoma, he has had multiple years of experience at DN to be able to be somebody special. You feel me? To really have those things click and come together. And if they don't, just look at what we have waiting behind Marvin Jones Jr. to where he does not have to be a game changer. He can give us what he gave at Florida State and be somebody that is a rotation piece within this roster that'll really help bolster that defensive end room. That whole D-line looks very talented, man. Looks very talented. And then that linebacker. Oh, OSU gonna hate this one. The Cowgirls gonna hate this one. Those Pokes, they gonna hate this one. Number one player out of the state of Oklahoma back in 2021, number 4 safety, 42nd overall player in the country, former 6'4" safety turned linebacker, Kendall Daniels, has just committed to the University of Oklahoma out of the transfer portal, where he should have been in the first place. He should have committed here out of high school, but we're not going to get into all that. I do know that OSU is hurt behind this. I've seen OSU fans on X all day long spitting out their hatred for Kendall Daniels, even though, you know, there's been former Sooners who went to OSU, and all we've done is wish them the best of luck. But hey, that's besides the fact. The point is, this is what you all have wanted, Sooner Nation. Y'all wanted the high-end names to come to the University of Oklahoma, and they are now coming in. You just seen Marvin Jones Jr. Now you're seeing Kendall Daniels. You've seen John Mateer. You've seen Derek Simmons. You are seeing this thing shaping up. Sooner Nation, do not sleep on Josiah Martin. Josiah Martin, 5'11", possibly 6 foot, depending on what recruiting site you're looking at. But this man was special at Denton Guyer. And if he can be similar to what he was at Denton Guyer, you are looking at a diamond in the rough and an underrated pickup. The man had 36 offers coming out of high school, and some of the biggest offers that you can get, the Georgias, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, the Texas A&Ms. He had some of the biggest offers you can have. Of course, we offered him. This man has high-end talent. And y'all need to understand that just because it says 3-star next to his name, sometimes recruiting sites are not hip to players that all of the rest of the schools are hip to. He is one of those players. Just know what the University of Oklahoma is doing in the portal proves that we are believing in our young talent. We are seeing the young talent take a step forward, and we are going to give them an opportunity to showcase their talent and prove why they were so highly recruited. That is all we're asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Give these young players an opportunity to show why so many teams actually wanted them. That is the way in which you get the high 4- and 5-star recruits out of high school. When they see that you're a pipeline to the NFL, they will come to your school, despite another school offering the biggest bag possible. That is what OU needs to get back to. After Lincoln Riley left, the media destroyed our credibility on bringing recruits to the NFL. They started to say things like, BV may not be a good head coach. BV is all about defense. He can't recruit the offense. So then you started seeing the offensive talent not be 5-star recruits across the board at the receiver position, the running back position, the quarterback position. Of course, we got Jackson Arnold, but I'm just saying, you started to see those high-end talents on the offensive end not come to OU. You started to see more defensive talent come. But as the years went on, the media went and scrutinized BV even more, and now you're starting to see these talents that were easy for OU to get go elsewhere. And that's all due to perception from the media. The media is very, very powerful. You started seeing them all say 247 Sports, Rivals, ESPN, On3. You started to see them say OU is going to become Nebraska. They're not going to get the elite talent anymore because they're going to the SEC. Young minds are very impressionable. So when they see these sites that they've been watching, of course they watch because they're trying to see where they're ranked at on these sites. The higher the ranking, the bigger the bag they can get out of high school. And the more notoriety, the more bragging rights they have. So when they listen to these sites say stuff like OU is on a decline, BV's not a good head coach, they start to believe that and they go elsewhere. So it is a media demolishing of our program. They are diminishing our program. They're trying to put OU to rest because they never wanted OU to be a part of the conversation. They always wanted it to be Texas. As soon as Texas started to have a slither of hope, man, the media ate that up. The entire media. Everybody loved it. And we all know that Texas was given the Pee Wee League schedule this year with the training wheels on it. Even in the playoffs, they didn't play the best of the best. They played the easiest competition throughout the playoffs. And it gives them the opportunity to keep their roster fresh later on into the season. With our schedule, every game has been tough. So with these tough games, man, you're going to lose a lot of high-end talent to injury. You're going to get tired faster. It's going to be more of a bruising. And I'm pretty sure the SEC knew that when they gave out these schedules. But it is what it is. OU has never had nothing easy, and we wouldn't want anything easy. The point is, we are built in the heat of the flame. OU DNA, we stand on this. Sooner Nation, we believe in hard work. We believe in getting it out the mud. We have always been the underdog. We have never been shown any love, and we cannot turn on each other. As a fan base, we cannot turn on our players, and we cannot turn on our coaching staff. We have to believe in what is being built. So believe, that's all I'm saying, man. Shut up and allow these coaches to cook, because what they are doing is going to show results. You cannot judge them for a season where there was a bunch of injuries and all we had was a bunch of young players who were not ready yet. They proved that they were not ready yet. How many drops did we see in a Navy game? Wide open catches that were dropped. They're not ready yet. But I love y'all, Sooner Nation. I know that this was more of a rant, a lot different from my normal content that I put out, but I had to get on here and speak about everything that has just been building up. But like I told y'all, I got 4 different channels, man, and I'm trying to run each one. But once this one gets to 1,000, I will make sure that I'm on here daily to give y'all content. Get it to 1,000. If you are watching, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It will not hurt, not one bit. It won't take no time out your day. Just do it. I know that a lot of people hear everybody on here saying just hit the subscribe button and don't do it because they don't think that their subscription matters, but your subscription does matter. So hit that subscribe button. That way we can keep pumping out content. It can get bigger and better. And y'all know, man, I love y'all, family. Boomer Sooner all the way. Boomer Sooner until my grave. Peace and blessings, kings and queens.